always have friends where I work, and if I don't have friends at the job, I will not keep the job.
Yeah.
So when I was fired the last time from this show,
Wait,
people say to me, were you okay with that? And my answer is, I was happy.
so she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
I say.
In a jaw-dropping turn of events that's igniting a firestorm of chatter, both on air and online, The View co-host Joy Behar has unleashed an impassioned tirade over Carrie Underwood's alleged $800 million lawsuit. Behar, never one to shy away from controversy, was seen fervently urging the country music superstar to reconsider what she called an overblown and reckless legal move, a reaction that has now set social media abuzz, with heated debates and rampant speculation.
Right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing.
You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
A lot of my family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine. And I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it. Right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing.
You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
A lot of my family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine. And I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it.
So she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
I say.
Joy Behar has long been a fixture on daytime television as one of the co-hosts of The View. Known for her forthright opinions and willingness to address controversial topics, Behar's persona has often ignited debate, drawing both fervent supporters and staunch detractors. Her candid commentary, especially regarding political and cultural issues, has become a signature part of her role on the show.
So I'm at Costco the other day.
No, you did not tell me this.
Waiting online to check out. And I see this middle-aged man look at me and stick his tongue out like this to me. And I was alone. Steve was outside with the dog.
Right.
And I just look at him like, what? You know, like that. And now he looks embarrassed. He's like, oh, I thought you were Joy Behar. You look just like her. And I went,
That's hysterical.
yep.
Everyone...
But sticking his tongue out at me.
Yeah.
What kind of grown-up behavior is that?
Yeah, and you let it go at that point. You
I
didn't
did.
say,
But
yeah.
if I was a little closer to him, I would have said, what is your problem?
Right.
But I didn't.
But you know what his problem
But my
is.
body language was, I'm not Joy Behar. What?
Is this Joy speaking? The same Joy? The same Joy that paraded around in blackface not too long ago? Come on, Joy. I don't think you should be asking these questions.
What do you mean? Is that you, Joy? That is me. My word. What year is it? Circa what? It was a Halloween party. I went as a beautiful African woman.
You need a candidate who's like Trump on the left. Somebody who speaks the vernacular. He comes out there and he might as well say, oh, I got a hemorrhoid today. And people like it. Because it's real. Well, they need something like that. Yes. Remember when Trump used to call in constantly? Yeah. He was on this show. Barbara interviewed him. He'd call in on Morning Joe all the time. And that is what they should be doing. Every time they should be ambushing the airways. The Democrats, get off your butts and start doing it.
On the other side of the debate stands Carrie Underwood, an iconic figure in country music whose career spans decades and whose public image is carefully curated through a mix of musical achievements and selective political engagement. Underwood's decision to perform at a politically charged event, such as Donald Trump's inauguration, has only heightened the public's fascination with her, setting the stage for any perceived misstep to ignite intense scrutiny.
Ladies and gentlemen, performing America the Beautiful, please welcome the Armed Forces Chorus and Carrie Underwood.
sea to shining sea.
On a recent episode of The View, Joy Behar did not hold back. Amid a backdrop of political tension and celebrity theatrics, she launched into an impassioned outburst regarding the supposed lawsuit. In her characteristically unfiltered style, Behar questioned the rationale behind the alleged legal action, suggesting that it was both an overreaction and an attempt to silence dissenting voices on a platform that prides itself on lively debate.
View co-host slammed Carrie Underwood for performing at Donald Trump's inauguration. This is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's go and check it out, guys. We'll jump into it.
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion?
Yeah, that's your opinion, isn't it? Your opinion really isn't that valid, based off of the numerous amount of interviews we've encountered with you, to be honest here. I think Carrie Underwood is an absolute American here, guys. Absolutely. And if you do love your country, you love your country to the end of it. To the end of it. You can make complaints, obviously, but you never stop loving your country, Joy. That's the problem with you.
Joy Behar's remarks are rooted in her deeply held belief that true patriotism means upholding certain values that she feels are compromised when controversial figures are normalized. On a January 2025 episode of The View, Behar questioned how anyone could profess love for America while supporting a president whose actions and past she deems antithetical to those values. She argued that normalizing Donald Trump's presidency, whom she controversially described as a convicted felon intent on harming the country, undercuts the very principles of justice, accountability, and unity that are central to what it means to truly love America.
On The View, Joy Behar accused Carrie Underwood of not loving America because she's performing at President Trump's inauguration.
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
The only thing more dramatic than Joy's take is her eyebrow arch. You'd think Joy would understand that normalizing the president is like trying to make the sun not rise. It's happening whether you like it or not. What's more un-American? Carrie Underwood performing at the inauguration or Joy Behar's hair color? I guess in Joy Behar's world, singing for the president is like burning the flag. Meanwhile, Joy shows her love for America by complaining about it professionally.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
For Behar, the issue isn't about a superficial display of patriotism, but rather about a commitment to the country's core ideals. In her view, normalizing a leadership style or a figure whose policies and personal history she finds deeply problematic represents a betrayal of those ideals.
How long can they afford to hold a grudge with each other before working on a plan to get power back?
Over on The View, they're realizing that their grift is in trouble because they have ushered in all of the crap that Milei was talking about right there. All of this woke stuff and the gender stuff and all of the stuff that has destroyed liberalism for these ladies that do that show on the Upper West Side of New York, which was the home of liberalism in America for so many years. They're realizing that they're in a little bit of trouble because the Dems are fighting because there's nothing left over there. Here's a little bit involves Sonny and the rest of them. They're just terrible people.
And welcome to The View. So here we go. Trump's back in the White House. Republicans control both the House and the Senate. So Democrats aren't just unhappy about this, they're turning on each other.
Essentially, she is challenging what it means to be patriotic, suggesting that it's not enough to simply declare love for the country. One must also stand up for the values that ensure its integrity and future.
That's right. The Hill reports that Jill Biden is mad at Nancy Pelosi after she called for her husband, Joe, to step down. You remember that? And that Kamala Harris feels dissed by Joe Biden for saying that if he had stayed in, he would have won the presidency. Congress is also butting heads about the best path forward. So how long can they afford to hold a grudge with each other before working on a plan to get power back.
There was a debate regarding Carrie Underwood's decision to perform at the presidential inauguration. Some critics labeled her as un-American for participating in the event, implying that her involvement aligned her with a political stance they opposed. Elizabeth Hasselbeck strongly rejected this notion, calling it absurd and unfair. She emphasized Underwood's extensive history of patriotic contributions, including her support for veterans, charitable donations, and performances honoring the country.
Is about to perform America the Beautiful at the historic event of the inauguration of the President of the United States of America, and that she's un-American for doing so.
I mean,
it's so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
They're living, it's as though the election never stopped for them. And they just cling to their hatred of Donald Trump, which is fine. I have no problem with that at all. But like a lot of these late night comedy shows that no longer have anybody watching them, and they're officially on cancellation notice because they're not going to survive with the numbers that they're getting. I don't think The View will survive ultimately either. So they start out by alienating half the country. But that's only part of it.
Meghan McCain has also spoken candidly about how awful Joy's behavior has been to the fellow hosts, as she shares why she left The View and why she hasn't reconnected with Joy Behar since her departure. In interviews and on her podcast, McCain revealed that the tipping point for her was an on-air moment shortly after she returned from maternity leave. According to McCain, upon her return, Joy Behar remarked publicly, "Nobody missed you. We didn't miss you. You shouldn't have come back." A comment that struck her deeply and made her feel utterly unsupported. This remark, combined with an overall toxic work environment where she felt marginalized for her conservative views, led to a severe emotional reaction.
I was going through postpartum anxiety. I had just come back from maternity leave. It was my second day back, and Joy told me she didn't miss me. She didn't miss me zero.
You missed me so much. You missed fighting with me. Don't act like you missed fighting with me.
I did not miss you.
Okay. I felt like I'd been slapped. I started crying, and I had a panic attack in my office downstairs afterward. I threw up. It was a mess. It was like a total mess. And I just thought, I just don't think this is how women should be treated when they come back from maternity leave.
Are you expecting an apology? Do you want one? I mean, I'm telling you, this audio memoir is very eye-opening, to say the least.
I hope people like it. It's not meant to be like scorched earth. Maybe it comes off that way.
In interviews following her 2013 departure from The View, Joy Behar revealed that she was actually glad to be fired. Reflecting on that period, she explained that she was fed up with the show. She even mentioned that all her friends had left, so she felt there was no reason to continue in that environment. This candid remark underscored her unfiltered, independent attitude, a quality that has defined her long tenure on television.
People say to me, were you okay with that? And my answer is, I was happy because all my friends had left already. So there was no reason to stay anymore.
Really? Yeah.
I mean it.
All your friends had left?
Yeah, but you had just come on. And my backstage friends had left.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't like to work when I don't have friends.
For example, in a 2022 People interview, she said, "I was glad to be fired. I basically was sick of the show at that point for some reason. I don't even remember why." Her comment resonated with fans and colleagues alike, capturing the complex mix of liberation and frustration that can come with such a pivotal career moment.
The selfish part says, "No, stay." I said, "Joy, let's chain ourselves to death."
Well, Joy had at least one ride or die in Sherry Shepherd.
I was summarily dismissed. And then they begged me to come back, and here I am.
Of course, Joy is an OG panelist who helped launch the show in 1997.
It's good news when a woman has a baby in her late years. She can breastfeed standing up.
But longtime viewers seem to think it had something to do with friction between Joy and then panelist Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Confidence is what it is.
Okay, you call it confidence, I call it delusion.
Fast forward to 2015, Joy was asked back to the table.
During a discussion on The View, Joy Behar argued that America's name is derived from Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian white man, questioning why a nation built by indigenous people was named after a white European. Her remarks sparked debate over historical naming conventions and highlighted ongoing tensions about identity and heritage, emphasizing the irony in a country originally settled by native populations. Her passionate commentary ignited vigorous public discussion nationwide.
This country that we're in was settled by indigenous people, right? And yet they named the country after an Italian white man, Amerigo Vespucci.
Yeah.
That's what America is named after. Amerigo Vespucci, a white European. Why is it named after a white man?
Well, let me ask
when
you,
it was settled by indigenous.
What's your take on Joy Behar's fiery reaction and the buzz around Carrie Underwood's $800 million lawsuit? Drop your thoughts, opinions, and predictions in the comments below.